The highly anticipated bilateral meeting between U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping in Busan, South Korea, concluded with a critical, though provisional, one-year trade truce. This agreement represents a mutual de-escalation after months of intense tariff volleys and economic threats that severely disrupted global markets and supply chains. The core of the understanding involved reciprocal concessions aimed at immediate stabilization. The United States agreed to a tariff reduction, specifically halving the punitive 20% import levy on certain Chinese goods, largely linked to fentanyl precursor chemicals, down to 10%, effectively lowering the average tariff rate on Chinese imports. In return, China committed to two vital measures. First, suspending for 1 year the recently announced wide-ranging export controls on rare earth elements, minerals crucial for high-tech manufacturing worldwide, and second, resuming substantial large-scale purchases of American agricultural products, most notably soybeans. This detente also included a 1-year pause on the implementation of reciprocal port fees and a delay in expanded U.S. export controls, targeting subsidiaries of blacklisted Chinese firms. 2. Analysis and reasons for the truce. This truce is less a peace treaty and more a tactical ceasefire, driven by shared economic pain, rather than fundamental diplomatic alignment. Reasons for de-escalation. 1. Economic self-preservation. For the U.S., rising tariffs were contributing to domestic inflation and hitting politically crucial U.S. farm states, who were losing their biggest customer, China. For China, continued confrontation exacerbated its existing structural economic slump, impacting investor confidence and youth employment. Both sides realized the cost of escalation was proving too high. 2. China's rare earth leverage. China's threat to restrict rare earth exports, elements essential for U.S. military technology and advanced manufacturing, proved to be an effective tool of economic coercion. This demonstrated U.S. supply chain vulnerability and forced the U.S. administration to seek immediate relief. 3. Political timing. The U.S. administration was keen to secure a win for American farmers and demonstrate market stability ahead of important domestic elections. China, having proven its leverage, gained time to focus on its new 5-year economic plan centered on technological self-reliance. 3. Consequences and implications. The immediate consequences were positive, providing a much-needed breath of fresh air to global business. But the long-term implications underscore a deeper, unresolved rivalry. Short-term relief. Global equity markets rallied on the news, reflecting reduced uncertainty. Agricultural commodity markets stabilized following China's commitment to large-scale soybean purchases, reportedly 25 million metric tons annually for 3 years. Critical mineral supply chains avoided immediate disruption. Long-term rivalry endures. Crucially, the core issues driving the conflict: China's industrial subsidies, intellectual property theft, technological competition, especially in AI and semiconductors, and geopolitical tensions, Taiwan, South China Sea, remain entirely unaddressed. This 1-year pause simply kicks the can down the road, allowing both nations to regroup strategically. China's increased confidence. China demonstrated that its near monopoly on critical minerals processing is a powerful economic weapon, potentially validating the strategy of using export controls as a form of retaliation against U.S. sanctions. IV, predictions and potential solutions. Predictions. The path forward is characterized by managed volatility, where both sides calibrate cooperation just enough to avoid a full crisis, while the deeper strategic competition persists. 1. Renewed tension. As the 1-year mark approaches, tensions will inevitably resurface unless a substantive long-term agreement is reached. China will likely continue to push for the removal of U.S. technology restrictions, while the U.S. will press for verifiable structural changes in China's state-centric economic model. 2. Supply chain diversification. The rare earth scare will accelerate global efforts by the U.S., Japan, South Korea, and the EU to diversify and de-risk their supply chains away from China, particularly for critical minerals and high-end technology components. 3. Technological decoupling. The strategic decoupling in key technology sectors, AI, quantum computing, chips, will continue, regardless of trade truces. Potential solutions for long-term stability. 1. Establish clear guardrails. Both nations must establish clear, non-negotiable communication channels and red lines on national security issues to prevent economic disputes from escalating into military or technological crises. 2. Multilateral frameworks. The U.S. should leverage forums like the G7 and APEC to create multilateral frameworks that address unfair trade practices, like subsidies and forced technology transfer collectively, rather than relying solely on bilateral confrontation. 3. Focus on cooperation in non-rivalrous areas. Prioritize collaboration on global public goods like climate change, pandemic preparedness, and anti-narcotics efforts, as partially agreed upon with fentanyl, building trust in non-geopolitical spheres. 4. Domestic investment. The U.S. must rapidly invest in its domestic processing and mining capabilities for rare earth elements to neutralize China's economic leverage. The Busan Truce offers a crucial opportunity for reflection, but without a commitment to addressing the fundamental clash of economic and political systems. It is merely a temporary hiatus in a generational competition.